What if I told you by the end of this video, you would have so much more knowledge about the Season 8 meta that you would be able to play 71% better than usual. So we will start this video off talking about the assault rifle that you need to be using here in Fortnite Season 8. Then we'll move on to talking about the shotguns. I won't go super in depth on the shotguns because I have made a separate video about shotguns, but I will be giving you enough information that will completely change your whole perspective on the shotguns. And if you do want to know more about shotguns, there will be a time card right here, so you can just click on that and go watch that video. But if you want to finish this video first, I will link it at the very end for you. Then we're going to talk about the SMGs at the end. SMGs are completely game changers, so we will be talking about them at the end. Then we'll finish the video out. Let's start off talking about these assault rifles right now. So all around, the Scar assault rifle is still the best and most overpowered assault rifle. And I know what some of you boys are going to be thinking, but before you go to the comments, I do know that the AUG does more damage. That AUG, especially that mythic AUG, bro, that thing is a bully. That thing just destroys people. But what it doesn't have is the ability to spray your opponent's box when he's trying to heal. What it doesn't have is the fact that it has a way faster 100% accuracy reset. It doesn't have as good of a headshot multiplier. Like when you hit someone with that Scar, bro, especially when they're close enough, I'm pretty sure you can hit them for the 70s or in the late 60s. You know, let me know the exact number down below in the comments. I would really appreciate that, and I'll pin it to the top of the comment section just to help other people out. But you get what I mean? Like, it can do way more things. It's a more of a multi-purpose gun, meaning it has more value than an AUG. It can do more things, so that means you should carry it. Now, I do understand you can use the AUG and just carry like an SMG. It's perfectly fine if that's what you want to do. But I feel like in a solo, as a solo, maybe in like a game, like a team mode, like trios, sure, carry an AUG because your other teammates can carry more heals. But in solo, if you carry something like a charged shotgun and then carry a Scar, means you don't have to carry an SMG. You don't need a P90 because you've got the Scar. And when you're up close to somebody, you can still hip fire with the Scar and do decent damage, especially if you're in their box. You can use that as an SMG. But it means then you can carry 3 other items. You can carry some more heals, maybe a harpoon gun, because that's really useful here in the season. So that's why the Scar, in my opinion, and I think a lot of people will agree, is the most overpowered and well-rounded assault rifle here in Fortnite Season 8 compared to the AUG. But if you have a disagreement, let me know in the comments, because I would like to have a nice little battle with you down in the comments to prove my point, but I'd also like to see your point of views. Let's talk about shotguns. So when it comes to shotguns, it's very, very simple to understand what I'm about to say. I'm going to try and explain it as best as I can. So the Charge is the best shotgun in the game. Stats wise, it's the best shotgun, but it requires the most amount of skill. And I know some people don't have the time to practice with the Charged shotgun, to acquire the skills they need to dominate with the Charged shotgun. So I only recommend using the Charged shotgun if you play Fortnite a lot. And you know yourself if you play it a lot. If you play it every single day of the week for more than 3 hours, you're doing good. So definitely be using that Charged shotgun. If you're not good with it, get good with it because it pays off. I'm a prime example of that. I'm not terribly insane with the pump. I have very, very good and consistent aim. But with that Charged shotgun, it just fits my playstyle because I'm not like an aggressive player. When I'm in a fight, I'll be kind of passive. I'll let them come on my box. I'll let them attack me. But I still have that Charged shotgun that does way more damage. So I'll just let them do their thing. And that's where the Charged shotgun comes in clutch. So I definitely recommend it for people who practice a lot, or they just like playing a very defensive playstyle when it comes to box fights and build fights. And definitely, again, this is more content from that other video that I made about the Charged shotgun, but it's very, very good for taking build fights because it has a long range. Okay, the crosshair is so small, meaning you can be 2 or 3 tiles away from little Timmy and still hit him with a big slap, like a lot of damage, like a lot. But move on, let's talk about the pump, Spaz. Spaz is definitely good for everybody. I recommend it. Just use it, man. It's a really good gun. Hands down, it's the most consistent gun in Fortnite compared to the Charged shotgun, because sometimes you might not get a full charge off. So that way, the pump can just boom, and it can still hit a lot of damage. It can still do pretty consistent damage. So it's good in literally every scenario. It's just a multi-use gun. It's the same thing that applies to the pump that applies to the Scar. You know, it just has way more uses, and you can play defensive and aggressive with it. So again, if you're not playing the game as much, I would definitely just use the Spaz, man. Use the pump because it doesn't require as much skill as something like the Charge. But as far as the lever, bro, we need like a moment, like we need like a rest in peace for the lever, bro. That thing is just, I don't know what the only use case for it. Again, this is more content from that video, but it's really good for off spawn, and that's it. It's really good if you're touching somebody off spawn. Literally, you're gonna elbow them. It can do a lot of damage. can nearly kill him off spawn. It can do a 98 body shot, the grey one, which is pretty good damage, but it's just that crosshair is so wide, it's basically useless for anything, literally. So that's my recommendations. Carry the pump, and if you play the game a lot, definitely use the spaz because it's so overpowered. Let's talk about these SMGs real quick. This is just a quick disclaimer before I talk about SMGs. This video is being made on the day that the arena points got reset, meaning I believe there was new weapons added to arena. I haven't got into play yet, but I do know there's a new SMG in the game or either on its way, and I will have a separate video analyzing everything you need to know about that new SMG coming as soon as I can possibly make it. So definitely subscribe to see that one, especially with the new assault rifle, new shotguns apparently. Definitely subscribe because I will be covering all the stats and telling you everything you need to know about them. So the SMGs we're talking about right now is going to be the rapid SMG that you can side grade to, and your standard like P90, just your SMG. So the rapid SMG can do more damage per second, but the thing is, it has more bloom. Okay, that's not good. It holds less bullets. That's not good. When it comes to doing damage to a person, when it comes to spraying an actual person, the rapid SMG dominates, completely dominates. But when it comes to, again, more of a multi-functioning weapon that can do multiple things, the P90 wins. It has better bloom, meaning you can keep your distance and still spray the shit out of somebody. You can also spray their walls, so that means, you know, you can put on a lot of pressure, so that way they make a mistake. It still does really good damage. It does more damage than every other gun in the game, I believe, except the rapid SMG. So, like, not damage. Damage per second. It has the highest DPS in the game, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. But if not, it's still pretty high, and it's probably definitely... It's just game-changing to have an SMG by your side, and they're pretty common. That's the thing about them. It's hard enough to side grade to a charge and something like that, because if you're carrying, you know, what are they called? The nuts and bolts. The thing about them is they're not very common. If you have enough to side grade and you want to, do, but it's not very good in tournament scenarios to side grade, because if you want to spray somebody and get into their box while you're tarping in like an FNCS style lobby, the P90 is way better to have because of the pressure you can put on, especially in trios, man. In trios with your whole team carrying P90s, and you can just spray at the same time, and you know that kind of bugging out the sound effect, and where you just can't hear anything except just like something grilling. That's what the P90 can do. So again, my recommendations: carry the P90, don't touch the what's it called, rapid SMG. I'm sorry boys, I'm so tired making this video, but I'm going to throw in some bonus content for anybody who made it this far, and I just want to talk about the heals very quickly. The heals in the game that I like right now that are pretty consistent and pretty decent is stuff like the meat and the floppers. Fishing this season is hands down the meta. It's what you need to be doing if you're not doing it already, because of all the different types of fish there is in the game right now. Especially with the harpoons back, you can pick up some fish pretty fast, and I definitely recommend you incorporating a fishing spot, kind of drop spot, into your game. Definitely be landing at a fishing spot or at a place with fishing holes, because you need to be getting fish. Hands down. But when it comes to heals, yeah, meat or floppers. Floppers are easy enough to get, but if you can't, for some reason, get floppers, you gotta go with meat. Meat is hands down the meta, bro, because there's so many different animals in the game right now. I'm pretty sure we still have chickens. We still have the boars. And I think we've got the raptors. And there's one more, but I can't put my name on it. The wolves, I think we still have all of them. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on every single one of them, but we have a lot of animals. And the thing is, when you're in the storm and you run by some of those animals, when they die, you can still grab their meat. That's pretty overpowered, and it's going to come in clutch at some point throughout a tournament. Not to mention, like, they give you 20, like, you can carry, I think, 4 of them. And if your teammate's carrying 4 of them and your other teammate's carrying 4 of them in a trio scenario, you can instantly get back up to 100 HP. Think of that as like a med kit, where you can pop it way faster and you can pop it in increments. So, you know, like the way a med kit takes 10 seconds, but if somebody starts spraying your wall while you've got 2 seconds left and you have to cancel it, it means you didn't get any heals. But by eating meat, it's literally what, like a 0.5 or like a 1 second, like boom, gone. So if somebody comes on your wall, you can still get that meat off and you can still eat it. I could have made a tongue twister right there. If you picked up on it, don't roast me in the comments. But with that said, I'm done with this video. On screen right now is that shotgun guide video that I mentioned earlier. I hope you enjoy it. I'm out of here, man.